Okay. Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Nori from Author. And today I want to share some of the exciting work that we're doing, specifically using our open source, oh, sorry, here, specifically using our open source software to enable your agent to go to prod using continuous evaluations. So before I have this really cool demo, but before I dive into the demo, I want to set the stage and talk about some of the challenges in terms of pushing your agents to production. Uh, but Ashley asked this before, but how many, just show of hand, how many people are building some sort of agent today? And keep your hand up if you think that your agent is 100% trustworthy for your you know, uh, customers, real customers. Nobody, right? So not really surprising because in the traditional software, you don't have uh, type of problems such as like the things that you see here, uh, including your output being non-deterministic even with the same input, or your agent forgetting like the crucial context in the memory, or making a very, very small tweak in your prompt, affecting and breaking features that are like completely unexpected. So at Author, after spending a lot of time building agents with our customers, we developed this thing called Agent Development Lifecycle, or ADLC. So this is kind of like the SDLC, same concept, but really tailored to agent development. And in today's demo, we're gonna focus on a technique that you apply to the agent development flywheel part of the ADLC. And so that is a process which enables you to continuously identify failures, improve, and maintain your agent so it continuously works in production as well. So if you're interested in learning more about this ADLC, on our Author blog, there's a ton of like deep information about this. So I highly recommend checking it out. So let me just go ahead and dive into the demo here. So for today's the application that we're going to be using for the demo is a simple application, but you can use the same ideas to much more complex and production scale agents as well. So about 2 weeks ago, our wonderful technical product manager, Madeline at Author, built this Slack Jira bot for our team. So essentially, here I have a bug that I'm discussing on a Slack thread, and essentially, let me. Sorry, it's a little bit difficult typing with one hand. All right. So typically, what happens is, or maybe I do want that microphone. Okay. So typically, what happens is other engineers will join the Slack thread. We have deep discussions on what might be going wrong, and you have to, or somebody has to manually translate this Slack thread and then create a Jira ticket, which is pretty time consuming, right? But with this new way, essentially all you have to do is ask the Jira bot to create it, and voila, it does it for you. And it captures all the information that are really critical to the ticket or the issue and format it in a way that you want. So this has been super useful. It saved us a lot of hours just within like the past 2 weeks. So what we've done was make some investment in improving this, Jira bot. And I want to show you how we did that with Author Engine. So moving to Author Engine. So here is the method and Jira tasks that we have instrumented in Author Engine. One of the really awesome things that Madeline did was integrate or instrument the Jira bot with the Author Engine from day one. So that gave us the usage stats, all the traces, all the steps that the agent takes to create the ticket. We've been capturing all that information from day one. And if you go to this prompt management page here, these bottom two prompts are the first prompts that Madeline used for her version 1 of the Jira bot. So let's open this prompt. And what's really useful about this tool is that you can create your prompt here. You can specify what LLM provider you want to use, which model, what tools you want the prompt to use, and make this available for the Jira bot or your agent to real time consume this prompt that you manage here and use it without making any code change. So here's a sample of the version 1, the the Jira bot that Madeline initially built. And what we found in the very first initial sample set of the trace is that the agent is actually doing this like one-shot prompt in order to create a JSON payload that gets passed to the Jira REST API. And the rest was essentially statically coded in terms of the logic. So one of the first things that we wanted to do, and then this is not Madeline's fault, and this is her vibe coded using the Claude code, and then it was a decision made by the Claude code to do that, right? But so one of the first thing we wanted to do in order for the to make it better was refactor, so that we give the agent set of tools to use, so it can reason and make decisions in terms of using what tools and how to go about executing, and which would also allow us to make improvements to the agent, not via refactoring the code, but through just engineering the prompts. But before we went ahead and then did the dive into the code and program away the refactoring, we also did the due diligence of creating a bunch of evaluators that maps to our requirements. Right. So this one, as an example, we wanted to make sure that ticket is nicely styled, and we capture some details here. What we realized in the first version was that it was using a markdown formatting as opposed to what Atlassian called Atlassian document format. And the REST API was expecting this ADF format instead of the markdown, which was preventing the Jira ticket from rendering nicely. So we capture that information, give it some context around how to use ADF, and we're telling the evaluator to check out the actual ticket description when you're evaluating this. Cool. So we did the refactor. Here's the side-by-side view of the first version of the prompt, and then the new version of the prompt is to the, what is that, to the right? Uh, and so as you can see, in the newer version, we created this prompt that the new agent is using. We added this system prompt in addition to the user prompt, providing more information or context about how to create the ticket. And then we also give it the list of tools available to the agent. And then here, what's really powerful about this capability is that we can just, without changing the code, take away any of the tools or add, make more tools available. Or if the agent is having problem picking the right tool set, then we can also dynamically update the description of the tool so that agent understands what the purpose of the tool is. And you can do that all dynamically without changing the code. All right. So the result of all those change is that you have uh, an agent that is doing like the agentic thing of like reasoning and making decisions on what tools to create. Use, and we have a lot more context and control here. And here, after that, now that we understand what the trace looks like for the new agent, we could do things such as like evaluate traces like this and apply the evals that we created earlier. I want the version 4. And then we can say, hey, I want the evaluation to be applied to the Jira create issue on the description field, right? But in this case, we've already have done that. And then you can see all the evaluations that automatically triggered with the execution of the Jira bot. And then you can see there are a couple evaluations that actually failed. And looking at this, it gives you explanation. In the prompt, we actually forgot to tell the agent to use the ADF. So it was still using the markdown. And this one is the ticket priorities wasn't justified, right? So in uh, the initial bug that was created a ticket for, it mentioned an issue that was happening in development environment, and then for development environment issues, we don't want to just go ahead and create a high priority, give it a higher priority. We want it to be like more of a lower priority. So that's why the evaluation failed here. So now in the final version that I'm going to be showing today, uh, this one talks about how the agent must use the ADF format, right? And we also added this context. Hey, save the high priority ticket for high impact issues happening in production, and don't easily give it to issues in development. So in our final trace here, we can see that after all those improvements that are made, all the evals has passed. And yeah, this is how you do continuous evaluation with Author Engine.